Hello, welcome to another episode of CripChat, your weekly podcast on everything disability. As always, with me tonight is David, Timothy, Lachlan, and Ibby. How are we all tonight?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, Jonathan. I hope all is well with you. And how are the others?
We're okay. I'm fine, thank God. And what about Tim? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Busy with assignments, but plugging away.
Maybe lockdown is good for you.
In a way.
A lot of assignments.
Yes and no, because you can't really escape them. You can't get a break from them. They're just always there.
Yeah, no, it's all good, it's all good. But on that topic, Timothy, what are we going to be talking about today?
Tonight we're going to be talking about how you can practice good self-care, especially during a pandemic, because that's quite a stressful thing that we're all in this together, and whether we admit it or not, I think we are all affected by stress caused by this problem to a degree of some level. So I think it's important we have a conversation around that.
Yeah, well, we were discussing earlier offline our beards. Everyone's got a COVID beard.
Yeah.
A lockdown beard.
That's right. Good stuff.
Yeah, that just comes from you just can't be stuffed to shave anymore. Like I've been growing mine before isolation, but I get why many men or people who grow beards in general just can't be stuffed to shave. What's the point if you don't have to go out?
Well, I've been growing it since COVID, but I still go to the barber and get neatly done.
What about you, Jonathan?
Well, for me, I have a movement disorder, so I rely on my mom, dad, or care to save me.
No,
but I've been reluctant to shave because once you start shaving, you have to do it every day. But otherwise, should I be like Tim if I start shaving every day?
Good stuff. Yeah. No,
so you're not shaving.
I didn't understand the last part of that. Sorry, because your internet was a bit slow.
Should I be like you, Tim, and have a big beard if I shave every day?
So you're not shaving every day. So
yeah, that's like a wives' tale. People say like if you shave more often, it grows back quicker. But I think it's just as your facial hair gets thicker, it feels rougher. Because like if I had $1 for the amount of times I tried to shave when I was like 14 to get like a nice beard, I could probably afford a house. And I never ended up with a beard. I only got one when I was in my 20s.
Now, see what I realized: if you shaved every day, it it grows more pimples.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another thing. You get razor bumps, and those suck.
Anyway, on the line sheet, it doesn't say talk about please. So what on the agenda tonight?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Kick us off.
So yes, Timothy, do you wanna start us off on
Well,
what we're gonna be
firstly,
talking
we've
about
got a
today?
comment from Joe. So, hello, Joe, if you're still watching. She
Hello,
says
Joe.
here self-compassion is key during these times, and I definitely agree with that. Myself have been finding I've been struggling with that lately, and just to remind yourself that you are doing enough, and even though it is stressful, just you need to remind yourself that you're in a situation you can't control, and just keep plugging away, doing your best, and don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, put it this way: if no one's gonna love you, you might as well love yourself.
Yeah, and also it plays
Like,
into
put yourself
if you have
first.
other people to look after, you need to have energy to look after yourself first.
Exactly. If you're not going to take care of yourself, no one else is. No one likes people that say, if you're going to put yourself down in front of people, a lot of people don't want to hang out with you because you're going to depress the mood always. So
yeah, it can be a bit of a hard topic because when you have depression, you can be aware that you might bring other people's mood down, but also people reinforce that and say, "Oh, you're too negative, or you're a bad person." That just pushes the person with depression further into being isolated. So I think in that humanity as a whole needs to understand because because of this pandemic, everybody is having mental health problems to a degree. So I think at the end of this, we will hopefully come out a bit more compassionate and understanding of mental illnesses. But just being aware that you have your own struggles and other people have their struggles. So we need a lot of kindness and reminders to take care of ourselves and each other during this time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Look, I guess I can speak personally as someone who has some behavior related and impolitical control issues due to brain injury and also having mental health issues in the family. Look, we all understand that for anyone disabled, able-bodied, being in a global pandemic is foreign to us. And it's understandable that we will have some mental issues, but that doesn't mean it's somehow taboo to discuss these issues more openly. I think as I look at the key points we will raise tonight, it will help people see mental health as a normal part of life rather than the stigma of being crazy or insane. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree that there is a huge stigma around mental health. And as I said previously, my hope is that out of this pandemic causing such an increase in mental health issues, that people are not only more aware and understanding, but willing to offer help and not put people down. And as you said, label them as crazy lunatics and all other hosts of slurs that are used against people with mental health conditions. I hope to see a drop in that, and by talking about it, we of course remove the stigma. But also, we're not just talking about it; we're talking about solutions or things you can implement in your daily life to make it not as hard, so you can get through those stressful days and come out of this at the end, maybe even a better person because you can use the time to reflect on yourself, improve yourself. But if you don't come out of it improving yourself or something, just even knowing that you have the abilities to get yourself through it.
So, before we begin, I thought we may step back a bit and think, well, what does mental health and mental illness mean to people around the podcast?
Yep.
Does anyone want to have a go at defining this, or do you want me to
What's the
take
question?
it? Do you want to say it, Ibby, or myself?
No, that's why you go ahead, Tim.
If I heard you correctly, Jonathan, the question was what the definitions of mental health and mental illness, and what's the difference?
Yes, you don't need to give a proper definition. Just tell us what does it mean to you.
Mental health and mental.
Illness.
It's
Mental health and
what
mental
it
illness.
means to me is one's self worth, what they think of themselves, and how they're coping within today's situation.
Yeah.
Some people don't think of themselves very well, or think of themselves like they're finding it hard to cope
Yep.
with their situations,
Yep.
and some people start to can't control, can't take it no more. They stress.
Yep.
Now it's the way you actually take on your challenges. That's what I see. Mental health is the way one person takes on their challenges. Some can take them on and not let them affect them mentally, and some can't.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think mental health is kind of like how you're affected by, I guess, the environment around you at that point in time. And I think with the mental illness, I think it's like an ongoing thing. Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Yeah. What do you think, Timothy?
Yeah, I think that the good points that you guys have raised, you've pretty much covered it more than what I was going to. But yeah, the only real difference between mental health and mental illness, mental health, it is, of course, your overall mental, I guess, abilities, as you say, how you look at challenges in life and how you deal with them. And mental illness, it's, I guess, when you don't have the abilities to respond to a situation in what I guess would be defined as a normal range, or it could be a continuous sort of issue like long term depression. It's more or less mental illness is just kind of a broad label for any sort of condition you've got affecting how you think.
Yeah, yeah. Just before we
That's
do
good,
go
Jason.
on, sorry, David. We got a question here from Troy and Chels. He's saying, "Hi everyone. Just wondering, do you guys have any problems with not switching off and not sleeping much? Just looking for advice from my little man. He's got cerebral palsy, but he is 5 and his muscle spasms get really sore. Any advice as doctors aren't very good? Thanks for highlighting that. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Not switching off. That's
Yeah,
Yes,
the
Jonathan?
the first thing I would say is I know what dogs or professionals, but in my limited experience,
Mm.
taking what words I find if you're really struggling with monsters, spasms, you can either use a heat pack or just before bed, take a warm bath and soak the affected muscle in the warm water. If it gets really severe, there are options such as cortisone injections. But again, I'm not a professional, so maybe see your doctor or even get referred to a pain specialist.
Yeah, and I'm no professional either, but I strongly recommend based on experience to massage the leg and yeah, just massage, give it a little massage. It will help relax the muscle.
Also, sometimes eating right before you eat, eating before you sleep. I don't know. I don't know. Not directly after you eat, go to sleep. Just have something nice and warm to drink, and not too much caffeine.
Yep.
Yeah, I think here we were talking about there was a 5-year-old boy struggling with spasms and switching off at bedtime. So fingers crossed he wouldn't be getting anywhere near caffeine. But for people who are over 5 or over 12, I should say,
Yeah,
no,
we want to avoid the
is
caffeine.
generally a good idea.
Yep. Good stuff.
I know to make sure the boy is refraining from being overstimulated before bedtime. So instead of watching TV, maybe get him to read a book or do something which calms him down.
Yeah, those are really good suggestions.
Anyway, back to the topic. So, Tim, Ibby, and David, let's just for one moment explore some strategies people can do to relieve stress that may lead to mental health challenges. So
Okay.
I
What?
see in the document you prepared for us, you have a list. So let's one by one run it through them. Tim,
I'll kick us off, shall I?
Yep, unless you want me to kick us off.
Nah, it's all good. So our first point is consider doing less. And I know you're all probably thinking, I'm in a pandemic, how much less could I be doing? And it does seem like you're doing nothing, but a lot of us are working or studying from home. And with that, the lines between work or study and home and rest are very blurred. I'll use myself for example. Although it's 7:30 p.m. roughly, when I finish this up, I'll probably go study. Should I do that? Probably not. But I'm also needing to knock off an assignment. So, a way I'd say I could use my example is instead of that, I could actually go to bed early, rest, and then work on my assignment tomorrow. Still plenty of time to go, but actually just having set a boundary between time for myself and resting and work, because when we don't give ourselves a time limit or a clear-cut barrier between what is work and what is home, that's when it gets very stressful. And I find that's been making me very stressed when I go from having chunks of like doing home activities to then working and then home activities. It makes it very confusing. So the main point from that is make time for what you need to do, like be it work or study or something, and break activities up into chunks, and make sure you have time for yourself to make sure you're showering, feeding yourself good meals, getting plenty of rest. And even if it's just taking out time to play video games or something leisurely or reading a book, anything that is not work or study, to give yourself a break every so often.
Yep.
Also, one person should always find this one person that they always can confide in and talk to, and whenever they're stressed or whenever they've got problems, it's nice to have someone to talk to.
Yep.
And they can confide in.
Yeah, exactly. And that could be a partner, that could be a friend, that could be a counselor.
That way,
it can be just someone you trust.
Someone that you can trust. That way, once you speak to that person, and they can help you, and they can help you by telling you we'll get through it together, and you will relax. But also within, you've got work and things on your mind. You always should do some physical work, which will keep your like, for example, do a bit of gym like I do. I go to the gym at least twice a week.
Yep.
Do a workout. It keeps you active, keeps you healthy, keeps you moving.
Yeah, that was actually one of the points. I don't know if you read the document or not, but having time to do exercise, ideally daily, and at least 30 minutes. That's science has shown that's really good for your mental health, your dopamine levels, physical health.
Like I at least have to go for a walk every day.
Yep. Which comes to our other point, soak up the sun.
Ooh, that's the first thing I do in the morning.
Nice. You're on track, David. You're on track. So yeah, it's always good to go out at least half an hour a day, and just soak up the beautiful sun. We all need the vitamin D. So yeah, it's very important to get out there.
I should add on to your point there with soaking up the sun. Because we live in Australia, a country with really high UV indexes, I think the time we need out in the sun is between 5 and 15 minutes, and then skin cancer becomes a concern. So if you are going to be out longer than that, wear sunscreen.
Sorry about that. Yeah, 5 to 15 minutes. Good stuff. Thank you for that, Tim. So yeah, and also make time for reflection. So if you got a diary, keep notes of what you've done for the day, or always reflect on yourself to become the better person that you are. Sorry, what was that, Jonathan?
Or even I know this may sound to be iffy or with the but practice mindfulness or some form of meditation. I find even having a quiet moment a day to center your thoughts and feelings can do you a world of good. Do I make sense?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. And meditation, it's in recent years, science has shown there's many positive benefits, and it's not just some hippie thing that people came up with. It actually does have lots of benefits, and it is positive to have a break for yourself. And even if you do feel bored in that time, a bit of boredom is actually good for the brain. And if you find you're one of those people who has depression or negative thoughts of yourself, and when you have those reflection sessions, if you find yourself ruminating on stuff like, oh, I'm not good enough, or you think on, something you did years back, whether it be minor, like, oh, I spilled a bit of paint or something, and beat yourself up over that. Don't focus on the bad things that you've done. Think of maybe 3 good things, or if you can think of 3, that's great. Think of 5. Think of positive things while you're having your meditation session. If you find you are thinking negatively,
You got to remember, you're always better than you think you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to.
And
You're always
there you go.
better than you think you are, because you might judge yourself hard, but others don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, it's as the saying goes, you're your own worst critic, and that it comes to light a lot during the pandemic because people have a lot of time by themselves, and while you're by yourselves, they're criticizing themselves quite heavily.
Exactly. Which brings us to our last point. Accept what you cannot change. Adapt and take care of yourself. That is the number one thing. Always take care of yourself. Make sure that you're in a good mental state and that you have positive vibes. Otherwise, things will go downhill.
Yeah,
And
but also
you don't want that.
acknowledging
You
it.
don't want that.
Yeah. Also acknowledging with the whole positive vibes thing, that it also, you can turn that into too much of a good thing can be too bad. So if you are one of the lucky ones who has been really positive through this whole thing, that's great. Keep being positive, but make sure you're one of those positive people who isn't putting people down who aren't as lucky, because I've seen a fair bit of that, unfortunately. So it's okay to be positive, lift people up, but don't do it in a way that puts others down.
exactly, don't think you're better than others, because we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the term for it is toxic positivity, but that's when people take positivity way over the edge, and they're like, if you've got any bad vibes or you've got depression or anything, you shouldn't be in my life type thing. That's quite the far end of the scale. So everything's a balance.
Exactly. And I agree.
Look, I guess what I have to say is be positive, but not to a point where you filter out all the negative, because negative aspects of life are there as instinctive warning system that something is wrong, and yet just don't resist it. Listen to what the negative is telling you about what may be wrong in your life. Try to correct it before it makes an even bigger problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, good point.
Where I'm coming from.
Yep. I agree. I totally agree.
What one can do, if you haven't got problems, but if you don't feel like you've got problems, but if you know someone probably needs someone to talk to, at least call them once a day to see how they're doing and see
Exactly.
if they need
I
any
agree.
help.
Always follow up. Don't
or,
leave anyone hanging.
or use technology such as Zoom or Skype.
Yep.
Yeah, or even just social media chats. Yeah, staying in contact with people is definitely key, especially during this time when a lot of us are isolated.
And
Exactly.
remember, if you're struggling or if you know someone who isn't really coping and you yourself don't know how to help them. Remember there are always 7 hours like
Yep.
I know beyond blue, but I guess the trouble I have with the services is having a speech disorder and it being phone based
Mm.
is a challenge. So remember, these services do have like online chat capabilities. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
And if you ever need help and you need someone to talk to and you've got no one to talk to, there's always Lifeline you can call. And don't worry if there's a problem, it could always be fixed.
That's
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
yeah, exactly.
It's
And
right.
it's so
But
much. Yeah, go on.
it's just taking the I guess necessary steps to make sure that you look after yourself. That is the main priority. Um. Yeah. I God forbid you do end up at that stage where you got to contact Lifeline, but just ensuring that everyone's looking after themselves, making sure that they're in a nice positive space. And if you do feel down, yeah, there are many ways you can get into contact with others. Like Jonathan said, social media, Lifeline, all those tools are out there. So yeah, don't ever feel like you're nobody, because in the end we're all human beings and we all should look after each other. Yeah, sorry Timothy. Carry
Yeah,
on.
I was just going to say so much of how we look at negative situations is purely our perspective. So I can't think of a good example off the top of my head. So I'll try communicate the point verbally. But if you're a person with depression, you're in a frame of mind where you can only really look at everything happening around you as a depressive thing. Whereas if you work on getting a more positive mindset, you can like look at challenges and stuff that pop up, and you can not be as affected by them because you know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and there's ways around things.
Yep.
And as somebody with depression myself, I know it's very difficult to get from that point of being depressed and seeing things in a very locked mindset where you feel the whole world is against you, to stepping to a different frame of mind where you can see, yes,
Exactly.
this situation isn't ideal, but here's what I've got as supports and stuff around me. So that goes back to reflection. If you feel you are depressed, focus on the positives and supports you do have around you, because those are what's going to be what gets you through in the end. And also just being adaptive. Like, we've all had to be adaptive to get to where we are now. If we weren't adaptive, we wouldn't be here chatting. We'd be elsewhere, maybe not even here. But it's because we can't control the situation. We have no choice but to adapt. And those of us who can adapt the best are going to come out of this hopefully better people. So in adapting, like strategies for adapting, it's just, setting out timetables for yourself, reminders, maybe planning your day. There's all sorts of things you can do. If you get stuck, like what I've been doing to help me even come up with content for some of these episodes, is I just Google when I'm stuck for things like, what stress management techniques are there out there, or what, I guess, services are available, or how to create like a planner. The internet is a really useful tool, especially during this time. So don't be afraid to Google things if you have to.
Yeah. One that I suppose I would make sort of countering your point, but emphasizing people on the other side of the spectrum. If you see people behaving uninhibited or more imposing online in the comments and posts they make, what it may just be their personality. There is a possibility it might be an indicator of something going alright with the mood. So I know this is hard, but if you observe that behavior, don't judge, be supportive, and if friends or family who are close to them, maybe not speak to the person directly, just go around and say, look, I noticed so and so is having a few issues online. Could you talk to them, maybe get them some counseling or assistance? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Yep.
makes sense. You know what? When someone wants to talk to someone that's depressed, always list something that nice to tell them about themselves. don't always give them negative feedback.
Yeah,
true.
that's a really good point. Even
That
just
you
dealing
can
with
build,
people
they
in
can
general.
build from there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good stuff.
Remember, the more positivity you spread to others online, the more positivity which will come back to you.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
all good.
I guess what goes around comes around.
It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, is there anything else we wanted to add, or I think we've covered everything?
No, I think we
If
provide
you
a
want,
very good point.
Like one last post.
You're welcome, Joe. And we're so glad you could join us on the podcast.
You said thank each of you guys for your input, and he put the smiley face.
Nice.
Well, thank you for sitting through our ramblings, Joe, and to everybody else watching.
To Joe and all our viewers, you're the main reason why we do voices. Sometimes it's hard work. Sometimes the internet fails, but our reward is knowing that you, the viewer, are more well informed and connected.
yeah,
Good stuff.
once we know someone has benefited from our podcast, that brings us pleasure.
Yeah. It's we're always glad to help others. It's what we do in the community, and thank you for being a part of the podcast, and thanks to everyone who's viewing it as well.
Thanks for everyone viewing, and if you need us to talk about a subject or you would like us to talk about a subject, please put it in the comments,
Yep.
and
Let us know.
we'll view it and
Yeah.
we'll put it in consideration.
Cool.
And the only thing you can possibly do for us is to help us to grow the podcast. Remember to share, like, tweet, retweet, and I guess, thank you for watching and join us next week for more CripChat. And also subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Thank you to anchor for distributing us. Okay, bye.
All right, thank you guys. See
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Bye.
God bless.
Bye.